Vafþrúðnismál, Vafþrúðnir sayings. As the Völuspá, Hávamál, and Grimnismál show, Odin is characterized by his obsessive quest for wisdom, particularly for information about Ragnarök. In this poem he sets off, against his wife's advice, disguised as a poor wanderer, to test his wisdom against the giant Vafþrúðnir, known only from this poem. Once Odin has proved his mettle by answering questions which the giant puts to him, he is invited to risk his head in questioning the giant. Vafþrúðnismál belongs to the genre of the wisdom contest, known in many other cultures. Two protagonists ask each other questions or riddles until one fails to answer. Thus the questioner must know the answer to his question. The answerer corroborates the interlocutor's information rather than providing new facts. The trick question with which Odin wins the contest seems to be a favorite of his, since he also uses it to secure victory in the riddle contest against King Heidrek in Heidrek's saga. Vafþrúðnir's questions elicit simple mythological facts: the names of the horses who draw the day and the night, the name of the river which divides giants and gods, and of the field on which the battle of Ragnarök will be fought. Odin's questions are more pointed. He draws out the history of the universe, its past and present, culminating questions about the future and Ragnarök. Some scholars have speculated Odin's real aim is to discover his own fate. Once he hears about the wolf, he brings the contest to a speedy end with his unanswerable question. Odin alone knows what he whispered into Baldur's ear, but it has been guessed that Baldur is assured of his return after Ragnarök, as the Völuspá tells us, to rule over the gods who survive. As a contest between god and giant, Vafþrúðnismál is mimetic of Ragnarök. Vafþrúðnir's answers emphasize the ancientness and authority of the giants as the first beings, but Odin's questions lead away from the giants and their claims to the final triumph of gods and men. It is they, Odin's descendants and creations, if not Odin himself, who will survive the final conflagration. The giants may have had a past, but they have no future. Vafþrúðnir's defeat in the contest symbolizes the final defeat in rhyme of the giant race. Odin said, "Advise me now, Frigg, for I long to journey to visit Vafþrúðnir. I have a great curiosity to contend in ancient matters with that all-wise giant." Frigg said, "I'd rather keep the Father of Hosts at home in the courts of the gods, for I know no giant to be as powerful as Vafþrúðnir is." Odin said, "Much I have traveled, much I have tried out. Much have I tested the powers. This I want to know. What kind of company is found in Vafþrúðnir's hall?" Frigg said, "Journey safely, come back safely. Be safe on the way. May your mind be sufficient when, Father of men, you speak with the giant." Then Odin went to try the wisdom of all the wise giants. To the hall he came, which Im's father owned. Odin went inside. Odin said, "Greetings, Vafþrúðnir. Now I have come into the hall to see you in person. This I want to know first, whether you are wise or very wise, giant." Vafþrúðnir said, "What man is this who addresses me in hostile fashion in my hall? May you not come out of our halls alive, unless you should be the wiser one." Odin said, "Gagnráðr I am called. Now I have come walking, thirsty to your hall, in need of hospitality and of your welcome. I have journeyed long, giant." Vafþrúðnir said, "My Gagnráðr, do you speak thus from the floor? Come take a seat in the hall. Then we shall test which one knows more, the guest or the old sage." Odin said, "The poor man who comes to the wealthy one should speak when needful, or be silent. To be talkative, I think, will bring bad results when one comes to the cold-ribbed man. Vafþrúðnir said, "Tell me, Gagnráðr, since on the hall floor you want to try your skill, what that horse is called who draws every day over mankind?" Odin said, "Skinfaxi, the Shining One is called, who draws day over mankind. The best of horses he is held to be among the red Goths. Always the horse's mane gleams." Vafþrúðnir said, "Tell me, Gagnráðr, since on the hall floor you want to try your skill, what that horse is called, who from the east draws night to the noble gods?" Odin said, "Thrymfaxi he is called, who draws every night to the noble gods. Foam from his bit he let fall every morning. From there, dew comes to the valleys." Vafþrúðnir said, "Tell me, Gagnráðr, since on the hall floor you want to try your skill, what that river is called which divides the land between the sons of giants and the gods?" Odin said, "Ifing, the river is called, which divides the land between the sons of giants and the gods. Freely it will flow through all time. Ice never forms on the river." Vafþrúðnir said, "Tell me, Gagnráðr, since on the hall floor you want to try your skill, what that plain is called where in battle Surt and the gracious gods will meet?" Odin said, "Vigrid, that plain is called, where in battle Surt and the gracious gods will meet. 100 leagues it is in each direction. That is the field ordained for them." Vafþrúðnir said, "Wise you are, guest. Come to the giant's bench, and we will speak together in the seats. We shall wager our heads in the hall, guest, on your wisdom." Odin said, "Tell me this one thing, if your mind is sufficient and you Vafþrúðnir know. From where the earth came or the sky above, first, O wise giant?" Vafþrúðnir said, "From Ymir's flesh the earth was shaped, and the mountains from his bones, the sky from the skull of the frost-cold giant, and the sea from his blood." Odin said, "Tell me this second thing, if your mind is sufficient and you, Vafþrúðnir, know. From where the moon came, so that it journeys over men and likewise the sun." Vafþrúðnir said, "Mundarfeyri he is called, the father of moon and likewise of sun. They must circle through the sky every day to count the years for men." Odin said, "Tell me this third thing, since you are said to be wise and you, Vafþrúðnir, know. Where day comes from, he who passes over mankind, or night with its new moons?" Vafþrúðnir said, "Delling he is called, he is day's father, and night was born of Nur. Full moon and old by the gods were fashioned, to count the years for men." Odin said, "Tell me this fourth thing, since you are said to be wise, and you Vafþrúðnir know. From where winter came, or warm summer, first among the gracious gods?" Vafþrúðnir said, "Vindsval he is called, winter's father, and Svarsuth, the father of summer." Odin said, "Tell me this fifth thing, since you are said to be wise, and you Vafþrúðnir know. Who was the eldest of the Aesir, or of Ymir's descendants in bygone days?" Vafþrúðnir said, "Unscountable wonders, before the earth was made." Vafþrúðnir said, "Uncountable winters, before the earth was made. Then Bergomir was born. Vafþrúðnir was his father, and Argrimnir was his grandfather. Odin said, "Tell me this sixth thing, since you are said to be wise, and you Vafþrúðnir know, from where Argrimnir came among the sons of giants, first the wise giants." Vafþrúðnir said, "Out of Eldvagr sprayed poison drops, so they grew until a giant came of them. From there arose all our clan, thus they are always terrifying." Odin said, "Tell me this seventh thing, since you are said to be wise, and you Vafþrúðnir know, how he got children, that fierce giant, when he had no sport with giantesses." Vafþrúðnir said, "They said that under the frost giant's arms, a girl and boy grew together. One foot with the other of the wise giant begot a six-headed son." Odin said, "Tell me this eighth thing, since you are said to be wise, and you Vafþrúðnir know, what you first remember, or what you know to be earliest, you are all wise giants." Vafþrúðnir said, "Uncountable winters before the world was made, then Bergelmir was born, and I remember first when the wise giant was first laid in his coffin." Odin said, "Tell me this ninth thing, since you are said to be wise, and you Vafþrúðnir know, where the wind comes from, which blows over the waves, which men never see itself." Vafþrúðnir said, "Hreisvelg he is called, who sits at heaven's end, a giant in eagle's shape. From his wings, they say, the wind blows over all men." Odin said, "Tell me this tenth thing, since all the fate that is fixed for the gods you, Vafþrúðnir, know, from where Njord came to the sons of the Aesir, rich in temples and shrines he rules, and he was not raised among the Aesir." Vafþrúðnir said, "In Vanaheim the wise ones made him, and gave him as hostage to the gods. At the doom of men he will come back, home among the wise Vanir." Odin said, "Tell me that 11th thing, where men fight in the courts every day." Vafþrúðnir said, "All the Einherjar heroes fight in Odin's courts every day. They choose the slain and ride from the battle. Then they sit the more at peace together." Odin said, "Tell me this 12th thing, why all the fate that is fixed for the gods you Vafþrúðnir know. Of the runes of the giants and of all the gods, tell most truly, all wise giants." Vafþrúðnir said, "Of the runes of the giants and of all the gods I can tell truly, for I have been into every world. 9 worlds I have traveled through to Niflhel. There men die down out of hell." Odin said, "Much I have traveled, much I have tried out, much I have tested the gods. Which humans will survive when the famous mighty winter is over among men?" Vafþrúðnir said, "Lif and Lifthresir, and they will hide in Hodemirmir's wood. They will have the morning dew for food. From them generations will spring." Odin said, "Much I have traveled, much I have tried out, much I have tested the gods. From where will the sun come into the smooth heaven when Fenrir has destroyed this one?" Vafþrúðnir said, "Alfrothur will bear a daughter before Fenrir destroys her. She shall ride where the gods die, the maiden on her mother's paths." Odin said, "Much I have traveled, much I have tried out, much have I tested the gods. Who are those girls who glide over the sea? Wise in spirit they journey." Vafþrúðnir said, "O'er Mogthrasir's hill shall the maidens pass, and 3 other throngs that came. Theirs are the only protective spirits in the world, though they came of the giant's kin. Odin said, Much I have traveled, much I have tried out, much have I tested the gods, which I seer will rule over the gods' realm when such fire is slaked. Vafþrúðnir said, Vidar and Vali will live in the gods' home when such fire is slaked. Modi and Magni shall have Mjolnir when Vignar falls in fights. Odin said, Much I have traveled, much I have tried out, much I have tested the gods. What will Odin's life end be when the powers are torn apart? Vafþrúðnir said, The wolf will swallow the father of men, and this shall Vidar avenge. The cold jaws shall he sunder, and so the wolf shall he slay. Odin said, Much I have traveled, much I have tried out, much I have tested the gods. What did Odin say in his son's ear, ere in the balefire he burned? Vafþrúðnir said, No man can tell what in olden times you said in your son's ear. With fated mouth the fall of the gods in mine ancient lore have I told. With Odin in knowledge now I have striven, and ever the wiser thou art.